Hey everyone, I'm Danny and welcome to Wizardry Workshop. I do have a big project in the works on the way, but I didn't really have enough time to get it done before I wanted my next DIY video to come out. So in this video, we're going to be doing a life-size Death Eater cardboard cutout. However, like I said, I do have a big project coming. I won't give it away. It is a fully readable History of Magic book replica. Oops. If you're new here, thanks for clicking on the video. If you're into Harry Potter DIYs and other Harry Potter related content, that's really all I do on my channel here. If that's something you're into and you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe down below. And while you're at it, give this video a thumbs up if you do like it. In the description box, you will find links to all of the supplies that I use to make this DIY, as well as the free downloadable templates. Let's get started. First, you need to print the templates. I printed mine with a plotter, so it only had 2 pieces. There's also an 11 by 17 version and an 8.5 by 11 version. We also need a whole bunch of cardboard. As long as the inside of your box is nice, it doesn't really matter what the outside looks like. So it just has to have one nice side to it. But you don't want like creases or folds and wrinkles. You want nice flat pieces. Don't use a greasy old pizza box. Have some decency. You'll find somewhere where it's been glued together. That's like how the box is put together. So you can either cut that or just rip it off, like rip it apart so that you can lay your box down flat. So now if we open it up, we will see this. So the goal here is to just cut anywhere where there are folds, because you want nice flat pieces of cardboard for this. So I'm just going to use a rotary cutter and a ruler. You can go through the pieces and just make sure that they're in good shape. This one, as you can see, it's got some wrinkles and stuff in it. So this is a piece I probably am not going to use, but I'm going to hold on to it because we need smaller pieces like this to sort of fix some of the seams and reinforce this. However, this little piece right here, it's useless, so we'll toss it. The bigger the box, the better. If you can get the largest box you can find, that's probably the best way to go, because then it's less work for you and it's going to be more sturdy. Any like part with imperfections like this, just go ahead and trim it off. And once you have enough cardboard to cover all of the printed area, you are good to go. Start off by connecting all of the templates together. Trim off the white from the edges that will connect and overlap. The overlap is about 1 inch. Just line them up, mask off the part you don't want glue on, and then use a glue stick to glue them all together. Continue this process until the Death Eater is complete, and don't worry about cutting off the white from around the outside just yet. Place him face down and start lining up your cardboard on the back. Glue each cardboard panel down with whatever glue you want. I used glue sticks to avoid the paper from getting too wet and wrinkling. Don't overlap these pieces of cardboard though. We need a flat surface, so just put them down edge to edge. When the cardboard fills the entire thing, now we use a hot glue gun to attach more pieces of cardboard to cover up the seams. This will make it much more sturdy, and feel free to overlap these pieces. The next thing we want to do is cut off the extra bits from around the edges of the stand-up. I found the easiest way to do that for me was to sort of hold it up and saw at it with my X-Acto knife. You could probably use a pocket knife for that too, as long as it's sharp, or even a box cutter would be perfect. Some of the parts that are maybe smaller and are curved were easier to do with scissors, so go ahead and try that. That might work for you too. And when it's all done, you've got your flat cardboard cutout, but we want this to stand up. We need to set up something for like as a support behind him so that it can actually stand up. So I found this piece that I had cut off of a box, and I thought this would be perfect because we need it to kind of sit sort of in that V shape like this. So it already has the crease, it's got a little handle there, so that makes it easier to carry, I guess. And yeah, so this is kind of what we want, but I want basically 2 of these. The other part is in 2 pieces, but they fit right together, and once they are connected, they'll do the same exact thing, and then we will connect those together like this so that we have one tall, bendable piece. I don't usually do this, but for this, we can use good old duct tape. And there we go. I should use duct tape more often. Next, we just need to connect these together right here in the middle so that they will bend together like that. There, now we've got this big piece that we can set up like a V, like this. This will connect to the very back of our stand-up. But we do want him to stand kind of at an angle. So when this is closed, we need to actually cut off some of this at an angle right here, all the way up to about here. I'm going to attempt this with scissors. I don't know how easy that's going to be because I'm cutting through like a whole thick bit of cardboard, but let's see. So we'll just cut up a little bit, but not all the way through. And then we're going to cut down a little bit from this side as well and sort of keep the part where the duct tape is not cut. If that makes any sense, I'll show you once I'm done. So hopefully it makes more sense at that point. There, so now we have these kind of cut, and you can see where the line would just keep going. So then we can bend right there, and we've got this piece right here. We can do that right here on the other side as well. Just bend it. And now, more duct tape. We did those cuts so that it would be really easy to fold. And now we can duct tape over what we just cut like this so that it stays together in one piece like that. If you want to, you can put duct tape on this side as well. I think I'm going to just for a little more reinforcement. Now that's what we're after right here. So let's go ahead and take this piece we just made and attach it to our cardboard cutout. You want to attach this piece on the back near the very bottom of your cutout. And duct tape, again, will work perfectly fine for this. And once you're done, your cutout should stand up pretty well. Mine leaned back a bit too far. If yours does too, it's really easy to fix with just another small piece of cardboard bent in the middle. Just attach it to the bottom of the stand as a kind of stilt. You can use duct tape for that again, and it should stand up with no problems. Let me know what you guys thought of the Death Eater stand-up. It was way too big to actually get in the frame, so I took a picture and I'll put that up so you can see it a bit better. But there he is. These cardboard cutouts are like really fun to do. I've done Snape and I've done Dobby, and people always just want to go take pictures of them at like a Harry Potter party if they're just standing up somewhere in the corner. Let me know what you think, and let me know like if you have any ideas for other characters. There's tons I could do. I'm just wondering, who should I do next? And I am going to be giving away a print of the Death Eater that I just made using my plotter, so you'll get the large scale one, so you can just go ahead and put it together from there. If you're interested, the giveaway link is in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.